So what we have here is a 670 Dephi gearbox and a 680 Dephi gearbox. This is a little bit larger piston, as you can clearly see, than the 670. And you'll find these in the Z71 trucks. Now, both have been rebuilt, although one thing was messed up in here. And I want to illustrate to you from my other videos, I found these snap ring pliers, which are absolutely vital. The tip on these needs to be 125 thousandths or smaller to fit the snap ring we're going to expose here momentarily. Next, I have a 15 millimeter socket to simply remove the 4 bolts. One easy way to distinguish these two housings when you order your rebuild kit is this has 3 bolts, the smaller, and the larger has 4 bolts, as you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And they're all 15 millimeter. We're gonna take these apart real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's pretty clean right here. I've already rebuilt it. You need to remove the pitman shaft first. And as you can note, I don't have the nut, the adjustment locking nut on there because I made a mistake when I was rebuilding this. You want to make sure that the teeth are aligned with the opening here. So I'm going to put the old arm on there and it should come down straight. Well, should be pretty well straight with the case. That's how it is when you have it installed in the vehicle. I believe that should work to get this out now. There we go. That came right out. The pitman arm. Now we'll be able to remove the piston. Let's see here, find a spot where we can rotate this cover easily. I just painted it, so I hate to mess my paint up, but okay. Flip it over. Now I got a little edge right here I can hit on. That should come off here. Got that off. The valve cover. Now we have our snap ring, and this is the hardest part of the whole project here. Move some of these things out of the way. See that? So it's going to be very difficult to get the snap ring pliers in there because the ones I bought are the exact same size as the hole. Snap ring is out. Now the piston, now the valve should come out if I spin this. And there are 24 check balls in the larger. There's 12 black and 12 silver. Those may fall out here if we're not too careful. I'm gonna do 1 second here. Is a magnet. I hate how these magnets collect metal splinters. So we're gonna do a little trick here to double check. I wash mine all the time, but we're gonna make sure we don't get those little metal splinters all over in our steering gearbox, if any remained. Put a little bit of tape on there. I think that'll still pick these up. You know, 1. Some of these don't want to come out. You be very careful about putting your finger in there. You can actually cut it. Those are machined edges. And I learned that the hard way. So now we're going to remove the piston. So it may have been all right, but then trust it. Get the back side. I'll show you where this went wrong when I was building it before. See, it's stuck. This is the problem. That edge of the Teflon seal catches the lip and tears up when you install it. You gotta be super careful about that. And this one got ripped. So I had to order a whole nother kit just for that big Teflon seal, which is right here. I'll open this up really quick. This is the 4-valve kit. I think I've ordered 3 extras of these kits just because of little mishaps like this. Now, it's probably not a bad idea when you order your kit or get your kit to get an extra one. This Teflon ring will just slide on here. You don't have to worry too much about sizing it. It's slid on. Now, of course, I'm going to do my little trick where I take the electrical tape, and this is in my full tutorial, which you can watch. It's just kind of some things I've learned since I've rebuilt my first 2 of these. There you go. See, this is a really cheap way if you don't have a sizing tool for Teflon rings to resize them. Now I have to leave this on here for about 15 minutes or so, and that ring should shrink back down a little bit to its original size. So here's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to remove this piece of tape I put on to size that Teflon ring. And I'm actually going to take this a step further. We're going to put it in this little plastic dish here. Just a piece of garbage from the kitchen I cleaned up. Doesn't have to be anything too fancy. And I'm going to put some power steering fluid in here. Let this ring soak. Now, you could use transmission fluid, whatever hydraulic fluid. I'm not too picky about that. You may want to be more picky than me and use what your car calls for. However, this is just some old power steering fluid I had before I rebuilt this. I'm just rebuilding as a precautionary method. So we're going to let this set for, I don't know, 20-30 minutes. Then we're going to put it in here for the next step. Now I did let this all soak about 10 minutes or so. So I have check balls in here. All of them are out of the inside of the piston. What I'm going to do is we have a small shoulder in here, as you can see, just above my finger below. We're going to put that piston into there gently. Maybe a little, kind of work it around. See what happens is it likes to catch on the shoulder right there. It's a real pain in the wazoo to get this guy in here. And these are tapered. If you look, they are tapered, but it's still, it's a real tight fit. So, there we go. So it is in here quite tightly. Meanwhile, a little mallet. I don't want it to come beyond there. So I'm just going to leave it like this for another 15-20 minutes and let it size. Here, we'll show you this from the inside here. So the piston is right inside there, but it's not beyond that lip. So this is going to size the piston seal a little bit more. Yeah, we want to size it really well before you hit this back lip here, because it really tends to chew up on that if you don't have it sized well. Okay, so our Teflon seal has been sized in the case on this side. Now we're going to try and put these check balls in here. I don't know if this will show up really well on camera, but I'm going to push this screw in here, whatever we call that, just to the mark right here at the beginning, the first hole. What I'm going to do is we have 12 black check balls and 12 silver ones. You have to alternate them. So you got to remember which one you put in first. Put in first a silver, scoot a little bit, put in a black, scoot a little bit, silver. We're just going to keep alternating this. This is very tedious, but it has to be done right. So I'm assuming we just about have this. I don't know exactly, 1, 2, 3, I have 4 of each left. Now this is the little bypass tube. What I do is I fill this up. You can use Vaseline. This is actually assembly glue, petroleum jelly, right? This is gonna be my little glue. I have silver on either side here, so I'm gonna put a black on either side. I'm gonna go silver, black, silver, black, silver. I'm gonna put a black in over here, and then another silver, and that should be good. We can cover the other side up, and now we'll put this little bypass tube in here. And here we have the plate to secure it. Then we have 2 of these little nuts. These are 10 millimeter. I don't know what torque they go to, but one thing I like to do is put just a little blue thread locker on them, because it's just good insurance. A little bit of that on there. I'm gonna stick it there. Get it started. Whoops. And this just kind of holds this guy in place. Just nice and snug. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to push this all the way in there. But one thing we want are these teeth to be facing out this way. So we're going to rotate this a little bit. That's more or less right there. Make sure that the piston is all the way screwed in. And now we have a little bit of a handle. Slide it through. Actually, I want to make really sure. I had a close call there. I don't know if that damaged the Teflon seal. I gotta get another one yet, but I don't think so. I got lucky. But let me show you here inside of the piston. I want to make sure that that Teflon seal seats correctly. So what seems to work well, see now it doesn't want to go in, is I'm going to, actually, I think that's about the end of it. No, it needs to go down just a little bit farther. So I'm going to show you my little trick for that. We're going to put the camera back up here, set it on its end. And if you have soaked it correctly and done your thing, you can just ever so gently give a little bit of a push, and it will slide past that shoulder. But mine doesn't want to at this moment, so you don't want to be too persuasive. You may damage the seal, and we don't want to do that. So I was able to gently tap it through. It is in. I didn't see it bind or anything. You want to pay careful attention to the shoulder. I'll try and point at it with the screwdriver or something here where you might be able to see it. The shoulder right here, so that it doesn't bind up and slide out. One thing I'm gonna do here is I can reorient the teeth if I can by spinning. There we go. Spun too far. But you can't get those to orient here. And perfect. There they are. Take a look. We got the teeth oriented and we got the seal in there. And I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna put the snap ring on. So what we have here is this has a chamfer to it. It's curved like this around the corner. You want that flat, the flat surface to go in towards the valve, or that's not the valve, whatever this is called, this plate here. I'm going to go ahead, after I throw it, and I've got to figure out which way is which again. Put on the tool here. You want to wear safety glasses when you do this, because this has a lot of pressure, the steel. We're going to situate it here, squeeze it, and there it is, it's in. So now what we can do is we can put that piston in the right spot. 13, so 14, no, it's 15. So most everything you're gonna do here is 15. We're gonna spin this, and let's take a look here. There's that piston, right? Can you see that where you're at? I think you can. Shine a little light in there. And we're going to situate these teeth so that they engage the pitman shaft correctly. You want them just right in the middle here. Right like that. Okay. So at this point, we can put this pitman shaft back in there. It'll just slide right in because we situated that correctly. Whoops, I'm setting on some screws there. Oops, let's make sure these teeth are properly aligned there. They will engage correctly with the teeth inside. And that's it. That's on there. I'll have a boot. We'll put that on in a moment. I'm just going to finger tighten some of these bolts here. Take a look here. Finger tighten these. Probably only need a couple of them for now. Getting lazy. We'll slowly put these on with the wheel here. Whoops. Okay. There's a boot that goes right here. Slide this boot on. Goes on like this. Keep the dust out. Okay. Now we can put the valve cover on, which goes like this. That should just slide right on. Well, give it a little bit of extra help. Gently screw this on. I'm going to do it by hand because I don't want to bind up any of those Teflon seals. Should go on reasonably well. All of this is tapered to seat those seals. So, okay. Should be one more bolt here, which is right there. All right, cross-threaded, so we will tighten all these up. The reason is these, I don't know if these are aluminum or what they are on the top. Okay, perfect. So now we're going to put this nut on here, but first I want to figure out where zero lash is. That's where the teeth on the pitman arm are touching the piston on the inside. One thing to take note is notice that this is pointing forwards by the shaft here where the steering shaft comes in. That is, or when it's in line there, this is the wheel's dead center going straight. Just a little trivia, but watch this. So you have some play. There's some lash in there. So I'm gonna take that out. I'm gonna screw this in. It takes an Allen key. I don't know what size this is. I apologize. I still have some. There, we hit the bottom. So this here is quarter turn from zero lash. Now, what I want to do is I want to put this nut on here, and one of the annoying things of this whole thing is this is the only 16 millimeter nut I know of on the entire truck. So I don't know if that matters, but I'm just going to kind of hold that there. And when you go to install this on your truck, you know, if your steering's just a little bit loose, you can tighten this down about another 1/8 of a turn, even a quarter turn, to try and take that up. But we're gonna tighten this down, and keep in mind we're a quarter turn from zero lash. And at this point, you have a rebuilt power steering gearbox. It's pretty cool. Congratulations.